Live from Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court in Pembroke, North Carolina, this is UNC Pembroke Lady Braves basketball here on the Braves Broadcasting Network. A very pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Alongside Christina Vinson, I'm Joe Vasile as the 1-0 Lady Braves take on the 1-3 Coker Cobras. This afternoon, the Braves coming off of a season-opening victory against Fayetteville State on Tuesday, a 63-56 win for the Lady Braves right here at Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court. And Christina, it was a good game overall for the Braves.
Yes. Now, I actually wasn't there for the FSU game. However, you know, from word of mouth, I've heard, they won 63-56. They definitely had an 18-7 scoring advantage in the third quarter, so they definitely regained the lead. Just a little fun fact for those who didn't know. FSU, well, the Broncos and the Braves are actually rival schools when it comes to sports, so.
Yes, definitely divisional rivals, just separated by, well, roughly 30 miles on Interstate 95 here in North Carolina. And it was a victory, like we said, for the Lady Braves. They got off to a slow start, trailed 21-9 after the first quarter, but after that just outplayed the Broncos. The efforts for the Braves were highlighted by 16 points from Avery Locklear, went 4 of 8 from behind the arc, 6 of 12 overall from the floor. She also contributed with 3 steals, 4 rebounds, and an assist in the game as well. Did a little bit of everything, as did Mary Robinson, who was a little bit of an unsung hero for the Braves in that game. Had just 7 points and 4 rebounds, but came up with 3 big blocks on the defensive side. Coming off the bench, Sadeza Love and Janisa Monley each scored in double figures. Monley went for 12 points and a team-high 9 rebounds in that game against Fayetteville State, and was a big reason why the team was able to hold on late, came up with a big block late in the game for the Braves. Now we take a look at the Coker Cobras. They've played already 2 games this week, one on Wednesday against Augusta and one on Thursday against Barton. They lost them both. It was a 75-68 defeat to Augusta, and Barton was able to knock them off 73-64 on Thursday. Both of those games took place at Coker, so now they hit the road trying to gain their second victory of the season. The only game that they have won this season has been on the road, so perhaps the Cobras looking for a little bit more of that road magic. They're led by Jazz Green, who is a senior transfer from the College of Charleston. In her first 3 years, she played in 88 games at Charleston, averaged 2.8 points a game and 2.9 rebounds per game over the length of her career. Through her first 4 games with the Coker Cobras, she's averaging 17.3 points and 12.5 rebounds, which are both within the top 5 ranks in the South Atlantic Conference. So getting off to a good start is the senior from Darlington, South Carolina. Also contributing well, the senior from Spartanburg, South Carolina, Tarika Foster, 14 points and just about 8 rebounds per game for Coker early on in this season. While they've been getting those solid contributions, haven't really been able to come up with a lot of wins because of the lack of defense that they've played. 82 points per game is what they're giving up. They're scoring about 69 points per game, which is a pretty good pace, but giving up over 80 is not a good strategy to be winning basketball games. And for the Lady Braves, who are a team that's built more around slowing down the pace of the game and playing good defensive basketball, it could be an interesting contrast of styles, the more offensive Coker team against the more defensive-minded Braves.
Yeah, I definitely think this is definitely going to be something interesting that we're going to have to watch for, like you were saying earlier about their defense. Just doing a little research, we actually played, this is actually the 18th time that we've played against Coker, and last season the Braves took a loss to the Cobras. So it's definitely going to be something to look out for.
Yeah, that was a 61-58 win for the Cobras last year, and it was the 3rd straight win in the series for Coker over UNC Pembroke, but the Lady Braves with a 13-4 all-time advantage over the Cobras, I should say. They look to expand that a little bit here today. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll run down the starting lineups for each team and preview the rest of today's matchup. It's the UNC Pembroke Lady Braves and the Coker Cobras coming to you on the Braves Broadcast Network. And we welcome you back into Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court in Pembroke. Joe Vasile here alongside Christina Vincent. Brian Williams back in the Braves Broadcast Network studios today. Let's give you a quick rundown of the starting lineups in this afternoon's game, I should say. We'll start first with the visiting Coker Cobras. They're 1-3 on the season, haven't played a game in the South Atlantic Conference yet. Coached by Shannon Johnson, the 96 graduate of the University of South Carolina, 1-3 in her first season as a head coach, assisted by Brittany Christian and Wally Johnson. Her starting lineup is a little something like this. 3 guards in the lineup today, beginning with Kara Schultz, the 5'5 senior from Dania, Florida. She's averaging just under 8 points per game. She'll be in the backcourt with Kendra Lambert, a sophomore from Palmyra, Indiana, and Sydney Shull, the sophomore from Irmo, South Carolina. The front court is made up of the 5'10 senior from Spartanburg, Tarika Foster, and the 5'7 senior from Darlington, South Carolina, Jazz Green. Now for the UNC Pembroke Lady Braves, they are 1-0 on the season again. No games in the Peach Belt Conference, coached by John Haskins. This is his 12th season at the helm of the Lady Braves, a 142 and 162 career record in that position, assisted by Kapika Davis and Joey Autry. His starting lineup looks a little bit different than the Lady Braves starting lineup looked on Tuesday against Fayetteville State, trying to get some better matchups. The point guard is going to be the senior from Durham, North Carolina, Chandrika Fuller. She'll be joined in the backcourt by LaShonda Pritchard, the junior from Havelock, North Carolina, and Avery Locklear, the freshman from Landis, North Carolina, who is the team's leading scorer. The front court is Mary Robinson. She's a senior from Enterprise, Alabama. She'll be up there with Janisa Monley, who gets the start instead of coming off the bench today, the junior from Laurinburg. So we'll take a step aside as we are set for the national anthem. Back with the opening tip of the Coker Cobras and the UNC Pembroke Lady Braves on the Braves Broadcast Network. Well, back inside Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court, the starting lineup's getting set to be introduced as the lights have been turned off. Out on the court, the spotlight is on. And Christina, you're looking forward into this matchup. What do the Lady Braves need to do to come away with a victory today?
In my opinion, I don't know much about basketball. However, they just have really, really strong defense. Like how you were saying earlier, with the Cobras, that's something that they were lacking in, the last couple of games. So, if the Braves, they have, a stronger defense, and just keep the ball like on their side, that will definitely, help them with the win. What do you think?
Yeah, avoiding those turnovers, like you said, certainly something that is always very important, especially for a Braves team that back on Sunday against UNC Wilmington turned the ball over 30 times in the game. Then on Tuesday against, of course, a Division II opponent, a little bit more of an even matchup against Fayetteville State, just 14 turnovers, so certainly making a lot of progress in that department, and that's something that the Braves need to do and need to hang on to, is obviously the basketball. And this game, if they're going to come away with the win, Coker is forcing about 17 turnovers per game, so that's a little bit more than the Braves have given up to this point, but also they turn the ball over a whole lot, over 22.5 turnovers per game through the first 4 games for Coker on this season. So the teams are taking the court. UNC Pembroke is in their home white jerseys with Pembroke written across the chest, numbers on the front and back in white, outlined in black. Coker is in the navy blue and golds. Opening tip is up. It's won back by Mary Robinson, and the Lady Braves control early. All dribbled forward by Chandrika Fuller. Now gives over to Mary Robinson on the left side for Avery Locklear. Dumps into the paint for Monley. Turnaround, pump fake. Tries to use the glass. Can't get the shot to fall. Grabs her own rebound, and the second chance opportunity is banked home by Janisa Monley. It's 2-0 Braves with 9:37 left here in the first quarter. Taken across by Coker. Kendra Lambert dribbling with it. Now she passes over to Jazz Green at the top of the key. Off to the right side for Schultz. Rainbows one to the near side for Lambert, who controls over to Sydney Schull. Guarded by Locklear. Gets a screen set for her. Now the ball works its way around the perimeter. 3 on its way from Schultz, and she drills it. Yara Schultz with the 3 from outside. It's 3-2 in favor of Coker. 9:09 left here in the first quarter. Braves with it, going up with a quick shot, and misfiring was LaShonda Pritchard. Ball rebounded by Coker as they push the tempo back the other way. The Cobras moving from right to left. 3 on its way from Lambert, too strong. Monley there for the rebound. That's her second of the game already. Fuller brings it across for the Braves. Driving towards the basket, a whistle, and a foul is called against the Cobras. A lot of back and forth action here early, Christina.
A lot. Now, as I was observing, I definitely would say, the Braves need to pick up a little bit more defense when they get close to that three-point line. She almost had that last three-pointer.
Inside for Monley in the right block. Turnaround shot is good. Janisa Monley with all 4 points for the Lady Braves. They're up by 1 over the Coker Cobras with 8.5 to go here in the first quarter. Thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with us on the Braves Broadcasting Network. Cobras with the ball. Here's Schultz back up top for Green. Green driving it, nearly had the ball taken away. Then kicked back to the outside for Schull. Swinging around the perimeter, it's Kendra Lambert. Lambert gets a screen on the outside. Green now with 5 seconds to shoot. Back to Lambert for 3. Unleashes, no good. Ball's rebounded by the Braves, but out of bounds, as Mary Robinson had her hands on it but couldn't land in bounds. And it will be Coker ball. They'll reset the shot clock, a fresh 30 seconds for them. They trail by 1 with 8 minutes and 1 second left here in the first quarter. Inbounding was Lambert. She got it into Schull. Now Green with a handoff pass right back to Schull. Here's Lambert on the right wing. Free throw line extended, guarded by LaShonda Pritchard. Schull is going to get a whistle against Coker. It's going to be an offensive foul. It's going to go against Jazz Green, her first personal, first team foul against Coker. Check that, second team foul against Coker. I misspoke. The other foul went against Kendra Lambert. Here's Monley in the high post, going up with a shot for the right elbow. It's good. Janisa Monley with 6 quick points. It's 6-3 in favor of the Braves, 7.5 to go here in the first quarter. Trying to create some separation between them and the Cobras early in this one as Lambert controls on the wing, gets the ball tipped away as she tried to pass. It rolls out of bounds, last touch by Coker. It'll be Braves ball. Good aggressive defense that time.
Yes. I think maybe they heard us up here talking about the defense.
They're doing a good job getting her hands in the passing lane. As Locklear tipping that one away. Ball goes into Chandrika Fuller. She's running the point for the Braves here early. It's got the team out to a 3-point lead. Here's Pritchard going up from 12 feet. Shot was no good. Rebounded by Kendra Lambert. Lambert pushes forward. Here's Shull on the left wing side, guarded by Locklear. Pass tipped and still up for grabs. Locklear trying to flag it down, and she ended up tipping it out of bounds. But they're going to say last touch by Coker. It'll be Braves ball, and Shannon Johnson, the head coach of the Cobras, not happy with the call. Can't necessarily blame her there. Thought Locklear might have had her hand on it last, but the referee's much closer to the play. Saw it differently. So Braves ball. And Fuller controls, driving in through traffic, goes up with his shot, but it's going to get waved off. They're going to say she traveled, took too many steps, and it'll be Coker ball, the turnover for the Braves. Kendra Lambert controls for Coker. They trail by 3 points, 6:45 left here in the first quarter. Very early, lots of basketball left to play, but the Braves look a little bit more crisp than the Cobras. Lambert at the top of the key, gives off to Shull. Now it's Green, driving the left baseline, up with a shot, had it blocked. Mary Robinson scoops up the loose ball, and the Braves push back left to right across the court. Here's Fuller dribbling with the right hand, to the right block, an entry pass from Monley, and Janisa Monley now has 8 points as she banks it home from short range, 8-3 in favor of the Braves. It's been all Janisa Monley to this point. Outside, here's Foster for the Cobras, dumping off to Lambert, then going to set the screen. Outside, here's a three from Schultz, a little bit too strong. Rebound goes out long out of bounds and into the Braves bench. It'll be Brave ball and a full slate of substitutions coming for the Braves. Their entire starting lineup coming off. Crystal Hicks checking in along with Jasmine Huntley. And we'll get you the rest as soon as we can identify him. Phoenicia Lawson is out on the court for the Braves as well. It's going to be Huntley dribbling it forward. Looks like Ebony Stevens has joined the Braves on the floor along with Erica Williams, who's got the ball. She gets it inside for Lawson. Turnaround jumper off balance was no good and rebounded by Coker. Here's Lambert swinging the ball around the perimeter, finds its way to the short left corner. That was Foster dishing back up top for Schultz. She's got the only 3 points for the Cobras. They trail 8-3. Entry pass tipped, nearly stolen away by the Braves, but recovered by the Cobras. And here's Green. Swinging around the perimeter. Good ball movement at least for Coker on this possession. 5 seconds left to shoot though as Green drives in, goes up with a shot. It's short, no good. Rebounded by Coker. And a whistle and a foul is going to get called against Crystal Hicks. That's going to be her first personal, first team foul against the Braves. And with 5:09 left here in the first quarter, it's 8-3 in favor of the Braves. We have a timeout taken, just a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it here during the timeout. It's 8-3, like we said, in favor of the Braves. And how about the game that Janisa Monley's having so far?
Oh, the game is definitely, definitely in her favor. You know, just watching. You know, she's definitely, in my opinion, keeping that ball in her control. What would you say?
Yeah, Monley is 4 of 5 from the floor, 8 points, 2 rebounds for the Braves. Just doing a great job of creating space down low. All of her points coming from inside the painted area, and that's a huge key for the Braves in this game. They have some of the height mismatch in this game, and certainly it looks like early a talent mismatch down low, and that's something that they're going to have to exploit if they're going to be able to maintain this lead and obviously expand it as the game goes along and not end up fizzling out like they saw Fayetteville State do 4 days ago right here on this court. Got out to a big lead early. They were unable to keep up the intensity on the defensive side. Ended up seeing that lead start to shrink. It's going to be what the Braves hope not to do here in this game. Rachel Temple checked in on the timeout for UNC Pembroke. Out there for the first time today as Coker will have it. Trailing by 5 here early. Outside, it's Kendra Lambert. She's guarded by Temple. Lambert dribbling back out towards center court. Now takes it around on a semicircle to the left side. Here's Foster at the top of the key. Back to Lambert launching a 3, and Lambert connects. Kendra Lambert makes it a 2-point game, 8-6 in favor of UNCP. All of Coker's points coming on 3-point shots. Here's Williams between the circles. Giving, here's a long-range shot coming from Temple, no good. Phoenicia Lawson with the rebound, and she gets the putback. 2 points for Lawson. 10-6 in favor of UNCP, 4:25 to go here in the first. Lambert dribbling with the left hand for the Cobras, takes it to the left side. She's got it in the corner, stops the dribble, has to pass off, and finds Kiara Schultz. Now Sydney Shull works it inside for Foster, double teamed, up with a shot, no good, gets her own rebound, and a tie-up, jump ball called. Possession arrow will favor Coker, so they'll keep it. As another substitution, Temple will come off. It looks like Stevens checks back in for the Braves, so still all bench players, at least in this game, out there, although all the players on the floor have gotten starts at various times, whether in the first game against Fayetteville State or in exhibition games. Working it inside for Green, up with a shot. It's no good. She grabs her own rebound, and she is going to get whistled for a double dribble. And so a turnover for Coker, as they've played some sloppy basketball here early, already their 4th turnover of the game. Jasmine Huntley brings it across and a handoff pass. Here goes to Williams. Williams streaking towards the basket, up with a shot, no good. Rebounded by Green. Now the Cobras run the other way. Here's Schultz, taking it back out, tried to work a pass inside for Foster, went off her hands and out of bounds. It'll be Brave ball, the 5th turnover of the game for Coker. The Braves lead 10-6, 3:27 left in the first quarter. As Jasmine Huntley dribbles it forward with the right hand for the Braves. Huntley streaks to the basket, righty layup attempt, no good, and it's rebounded by Morgan Williams. Williams gives ahead to Sydney Shull, dribbling between the circles, trying to direct her teammates around, get some space. She passes off to Williams, guarded by Lawson very loosely. Here's Schultz. Schultz stops her dribble, passes off to her right for Elizabeth Kincaid. And they work it inside for Williams, off her hands, but it went right to Schultz, who is wide open for the backdoor layup. And Kiara Schultz with 5 of Coker's 8 points. It's a 2-point game again, 10-8 in favor of the Braves. 2:42 left to go here in the first quarter. Phoenicia Lawson tried to get an entry pass from Huntley, but was fouled in the process. We're going to get Williams for her first personal. 3rd team foul going against the Cobras in the first quarter. Remember, with the rule changes this year in NCAA women's basketball, instead of 2 halves, it is now 4 quarters. Inside to Lawson, she went up with a shot and was fouled, and Phoenicia Lawson will shoot 2 free throws. But also with that, they made changes to the bonus rule as well, which we'll get to in just a second, as the foul goes against Tarika Foster, her first personal. Lawson dribbles low, now goes up with first and is good. She's got 3 points. The change they made to the bonus rule is there is now in women's basketball no longer a single bonus and a double bonus. There's just a double bonus where you shoot 2 points. Rather 2 free throws, so no more 1-and-1s, and that begins after 5 fouls in the quarter. All team fouls reset each quarter, as Lawson's second is good as well. It's now 12-8 in favor of UNCP, all 12 points coming from either Janisa Monley or Phoenicia Lawson. 8 for Monley, 4 for Lawson. Here's Lambert giving over to Green. Now right back to Lambert, who's guarded tightly by Huntley. Lambert trying to get some room, now gives off to Sidney Shull. Back to Green. Good tight defense being played by the Braves. 2:18 left to go here in the first quarter. 12-8 the score in favor of UNCP. Here's Green. Wide open Shull launches a three from the left side, a little bit too strong. Rebound goes over the top of the backboard. And it was taken by Williams, but of course that counts for out of bounds because it looked like it might have touched the shot clock. So 12-8 the score in favor of UNCP. Under 2 minutes to go left in the first quarter. Ball controlled by Ebony Stevens on the right wing. Now passes over to Huntley, gets a high screen from Hicks. Now Hicks launching deep from three and a little bit off the mark to the right. And rebounded by Foster. Foster gives to Lambert, pushing into the front court right. Pass off to Kincaid at the free throw line, extended on the outside. Entry pass is stolen on a diving attempt by Hicks. Great defense by Hicks to dive into the passing lane, come away with the steal and pass ahead. Here's Stevens with a three, yes! Ebony Stevens with her second three-pointer of the season. And it's 15-8 now in favor of the Braves, a 7-point lead, their biggest lead of the game, with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Ball controlled by Lambert. She launches a three, trying to answer, in and out, no good. Rebounded by Huntley. 59 seconds to go in the first quarter as Huntley controls a behind-the-back dribble, now gives to Stevens. Wide open look from deep again, and she gets it to go. Ebony Stevens kissing the front of the rim as she got that one to fall. Now 18-8 in favor of the Braves, 43 seconds to go in the first. Outside, it's Foster giving a Shull on the left wing. Inside for Green. Back at her defender down to the post, it was Williams. And Green with a fancy move to the inside gets the bucket to fall. 18-10 now in favor of the Braves, 25 seconds to go. The shot clock is on, but doesn't look like it needs to be. Fractions of a second left on the game clock here in the first quarter. Braves can hold for the last shot. Huntley with now 8 seconds to go, gives to Hicks. Back to Huntley on the right side. Trying to work it inside, up with a shot, and no good. Looked like that was Monley. It was rebounded by Coker. They won't get the last second shot off as Jazz Green had it at about mid-court. When the buzzer went off, the ball never left her hands. And the score 18-10 in favor of the Braves after one quarter. We'll take a break and return with the second quarter of action here from UNC Pembroke. It's the Braves 18 and Coker 10 on the Braves Radio Network. Well, we welcome you back in a Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court. Alongside Christina Vincent, I'm Joe Vasile. Here on the Braves Broadcast Network. The Braves have the ball first. They're up 18-10 as we start the second quarter of action here in Pembroke. It's Avery Locklear controlling for the Braves. She passes off and gets the ball right back. Locklear tried to drive in and was pushed down to the court. First foul of the second quarter coming early against the Coker Cobras. They find Kendra Lambert to be the guilty party. Lambert played the entire first quarter for Coker without a break. On the outside, it is the Braves controlling the ball. Working it inside to Mary Robinson. Robinson got fouled. As LaShonda Pritchard got it to Robinson in the paint, and then Robinson was blocked by Elizabeth Kincaid, who picks up her first foul, second going against Coker in the second quarter already. Here's Janisa Monley with 8 points driving in, kick outside, three coming from Robinson. No good, but Monley able to chase down the rebound, but then had it go out of her hands, and it was scooped up by Morgan Williams of the Cobras. So the Cobras with the ball, they're down 18-10 with 9:17 to play in the second quarter. Ball dribbled on the outside by Kiara Schultz. She gives off to Williams at the top of the key. Ball finds its way to Jazz Green on the right wing, dribbles around Robinson, goes in, has a shot blocked by Robinson, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay Coker ball. John Haskins liking the defense played by his team there. 10 seconds left on the shot clock for Coker as Kendra Lambert looks to inbound. She gets it into Green. Green thought about going up with a shot, brought it down and passed off to Morgan Williams, who was able to bank it home off the glass. First 2 points of the game for Williams, 18-12 to score in favor of the Braves. The shot, LaShonda Pritchard, it was short, and the rebound is grabbed by Monley, and Monley banks it home. Now double digits for her. It's 20-12 in favor of the Braves. Coker quickly the other way. Here's Schultz on the right wing. It's a high screen from Williams. Now passes off to Tarika Foster. Went to Williams, and then Williams was pushed from behind by Avery Locklear. Picks up her first foul. And the first team foul for the Braves here in the second quarter. 8:30 to go, 20-12 the score in favor of UNCP. Inbound pass goes to Green. Green passes off to Lambert. Lambert up from 15, and it's good. Kendra Lambert with 5 points. 20-14 UNCP. Here's Pritchard from the free throw line the other way. Shot in and out of the basket. And rebounded by Foster. Pushing it forward, it's Green trying to go coast to coast. Righty scoop, no good. And the ball was rebounded by Pritchard. She gives up to Chandrika Fuller. Fuller drives in with three players, passed off to Robinson, and Mary Robinson was fouled. Going up the shot. So she'll head to the free throw line and shoot two. That's the third team foul against Coker already in the first 2 minutes and 3 seconds of this second quarter. The first free throw on its way from Robinson is good. It's her first point of the game, making a 7-point lead for UNCP, as Morgan Williams was the guilty party for the Cobras, picking up her second foul of the game. Second on its way from Robinson went through. So she hits them both. 22-14, an 8-point lead for the Braves, matching their largest lead of the afternoon. Outside, a three from Lambert. She banked it home. It was good, but it did not count. An offensive violation going against Coker. Looked like a three in the key was called before the shot went off, so it was no good, and the Braves take it. Mary Robinson with a handoff pass for Fuller, driving, righty finish. She gets it to go. Chandrika Fuller has got herself her first 2 points of the night, and it's a 10-point lead for the Braves. Outside here, Schultz. Schultz with a little two-man game for Williams. Inside, shot no good. Rebound up for grabs and a whistle. Looks like a loose ball foul. Going to get called against the Braves. So it'll stay Coker ball. Second foul against Pembroke here in the second quarter. Foul goes against Mary Robinson. Lambert inbounds to Schultz on the left wing side. Out of the top of the key, here's Williams. Stops her dribble, passes back outside to Schultz, trying to direct some traffic. Schultz launches a three. It's no good. Rebounded by Jazz Green. Green goes inside through contact. Gets the shot to fall and will head to the free throw line and try for three the old-fashioned way. Shonda Pritchard committed the foul. Green now with 4 points on the game. 72% free throw shooter on the season is Jazz Green. 24 points against Limestone to open the season for Coker as she connects on the free throw. She's now got 5 in this game. 24-17, the score in favor of UNCP. Pritchard answering the other way. Shot was no good. Rebounded by the Cobras. Here's Green dribbling with the ball. Calling for a high screen from Foster. She opts not to use it, spins in, falls to the ground, and gets called for a travel. Not exactly the way that Jazz Green imagined that play going. It'll be Braves ball. They're up 24-17, 6.5 to go in the second. Trying to continue to establish control in this game, Christina.
Right.
There's Fuller giving her Robinson, a high arcing 3 on its way. It was short and rebounded by Schultz off to the left of the basket. Yara Schultz guarded by Avery Locklear. Gets a screen from Morgan Williams, now passes over to Tarika Foster. Bodies hit the floor, a foul is called. And this one's going to go against UNCP. It's Avery Locklear getting charged with her second personal. 4th team foul against the Braves. Here in the first 4 minutes of the second quarter, so one more. And the Cobras will go to the free throw line and shoot 2. Locklear heads off to the bench. This being her second foul of the first half. The ball now controlled for Coker by Mariah Johnson, the sophomore from Statesville. Ball nearly stolen away out of Jazz Green's hands by Foster, or rather by Fuller, and the ball rolled out of bounds. It'll stay down on this end. Coker controls, 18 seconds left on the shot clock, 5:52 left on the game clock here in the second quarter. Inbound pass goes to Johnson. Johnson now for Williams. Driving in, here is Schultz up with a shot. It's no good. Couldn't get the friendly roll off the rim. Rebound saved, but it goes to the Cobras as it was thrown by a Pembroke player right to Schultz out beyond the three-point arc. Now here's Schultz, left corner 3. Shot was no good. Hit the back of the rim, and it was rebounded by Robinson. Now here's Fuller. Streaking, kick to the outside. 3 on its way from Hicks. Way too long. Airmailed that one in. It was rebounded by the Cobras. Right into the on-waiting arms of Jazz Green. Schultz calling for a screen from Foster. As she dishes off, tried to get it to Foster, but it was tipped by Janisa Monley on defense. It rolled out of bounds. It'll stay Coker ball. A lot of tip passes for the Braves.
That's a lot. One thing though, like I would definitely like to say, I've noticed during this quarter, well, compared to the first quarter, the Cobras, they were definitely staying more towards the three-point line compared to like the Braves, where we were just driving the ball in more towards the goal, you know, which the Braves, they had that, you know, to their advantage. They kind of switched up at the beginning of this quarter, so.
Yeah, Braves starting to focus more on the perimeter offense while the Cobras trying to work it inside. We've got a media timeout. We'll take it with them back in 30 seconds on the Braves Broadcast Network.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Out of the media timeout, a shot clock violation called against the Coker Cobras as they weren't able to get a shot off in time. Didn't realize they didn't have the full 30 seconds. So the Braves have the ball. 24-17 is the score in favor of UNCP. 4:40 left here in the second quarter. He's swinging around the perimeter. Here's Chandrika Fuller inside. Monley banks it home. It's good. Janisa Monley with 12 points out of the 26 for UNCP, really leading the way. Now Coker's got it. They trail by 9. Working it inside. Ball stolen away by Mary Robinson. She's been good on defense all day. A block and now a big steal. Kick to the outside. Here's Ebony Stevens back to Robinson. Robinson driving in outside for Erica Williams. Williams, long three on the way. Shot was no good. And rebounded by Coker. By the way, I misspoke. The last bucket made for the Braves was not Janisa Monley. It was Sadeza Love in the game for the first time. Outside here, Sydney Shull for the Cobras. Pass was tipped, nearly stolen away, but recovered by Foster inside. Triple team, tie up. Jump ball is called. Possession arrow favors Coker once again. So they'll take the ball from underneath their own hoop. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. They trail by 9, 3:37 to go here in the second quarter. Working it inside, right off the inbound. Williams up with a shot. And Morgan Williams was fouled. She'll head to the free throw line. Sadeza Love got called for the foul. That's now 5 team fouls against UNCP, all common fouls from this point on. Or was in 2 free throws for Coker. First on the way from Morgan Williams is no good, a little bit too strong. Williams a 27% free throw shooter on the young season. Spins the ball around, bounces off the floor once, up with the second, and that one falls. 3 points now for Morgan Williams, the freshman from Irmo, South Carolina. That makes it 26-18, an 8-point lead for UNCP, 3:36 left in the second quarter. Here's Jasmine Huntley controlling for the Braves, a handoff pass. As the Braves continue their good ball movement. It went to Williams. Now the ball continues to find its way around the perimeter. Huntley tried to drive in. She was fouled by Elizabeth Kincaid. They get her for a block. Now 4 fouls going against Coker here in this second quarter. One more, the Braves will be in the bonus. But for now, they'll just inbound from the sideline. It'll be Erica Williams triggering the inbound. Stack breaks. Split off. Inbound goes back into the backcourt. For Jasmine Huntley, she carries across the logo. 3:16 to go, and a whistle and another foul going against Coker. And that's going to send Jasmine Huntley to the free throw line to shoot 2. Foul went against Anika Dixon. Her first personal foul and 5th team foul, sending Huntley to the line. She's 1 for 2 from the charity stripe this season, making 2 for 3 as she hits on the first. Jasmine Huntley, the junior from Indian Trail, North Carolina, was a 1,000-point scorer at Porter Ridge High School. Connects on the second free throw. Make it 28-18, 10-point lead for UNCP. 3:10 to go here in the second quarter. As Morgan Williams stopped her dribble and to pass off to Kendra Lambert. Lambert, a handoff pass for Schultz. Schultz gets a double screen and passes along to Dixon. Back outside for Schultz at the top of the key. Ball swings around the perimeter to the right corner for Lambert. 5 to shoot. Ball tipped and stolen away. It was Mary Williams coming up with the steal. Williams drives and has the ball stripped out of her hand by Schultz. And Schultz, after she collected the loose ball, stepped on the baseline out of bounds. It'll go right back to the Braves. Here's Williams giving to Love. Shot no good, but it is rebounded by Erica Williams. Dribbling with it, Huntley slashing to the right side of the lane to the basket. Shot no good. Rebound tips out of bounds. Last touch by Coker. Morgan Williams said it last hit Sadeza Love, but it was in fact Williams who had her hands on the ball last. 10-point lead for the Braves, 2:26 to go. Running in, floater, shot good, but they'll wave it off. They'll say a charging violation against Ebony Stevens. Her first personal foul. Or it doesn't count as a team foul because of the charging violation. Anika Dixon passes off to Kiara Schultz. Now back to Morgan Williams. Over to Dixon. Up fakes on a three. Comes in with a shot, and it's good. Anika Dixon connects from 14 feet. Her first 2 points of the game, 28-20. 2 minutes to go here in the second. Ball control by Williams. Back to Huntley. With an entry pass for Love. Turnaround from 12. No good. Rebounded by the Cobras. 28-20. 1:44 to go here in the second. Long three from Schultz. Shot was tipped, but she was fouled. And so Kiara Schultz will head to the free throw line and shoot 3 free throws as she was fouled, shooting the 3 from straight away. Foul's going to go against Mary Robinson, her second. That's going to send Schultz to the free throw line. She's got 5 points today and has been perfect from the charity stripe this season. First on the way, in and out, no good. Can't say that anymore. Couple of dribbles for Schultz. Up at the second, and that one falls. 6 points now for the senior from Dania, Florida. She was a Broward Community College transfer. Transferred to Coker last year. Now in her second year as a member of the Cobras. LaShonda Pritchard checks back in for the Braves as Schultz delivers the third, and it's good. So now 7 points in the game for Kiara Schultz. That leads the way for the Cobras. They trail 28-22. Full court press. Braves able to break it as Pritchard takes it across. Pritchard still dribbling. From the left elbow, backs it out. And the ball finds its way to Jasmine Huntley, who's been running the point for a majority of this game. Here's Janisa Monley. Back to Pritchard. Over to Monley now on the left post. Jump shot was way short. Just glanced the net, didn't even catch any of the rim, and taken by Lambert. Lambert dribbles around now, kicks to the outside. She gets it right back on the UNC Pembroke logo. Fires a three, shot no good, and rebounded by the Braves. Looked like it was Williams who pulled it down. Huntley quickly taken across. Now here's Ebony Stevens in and out on a three attempt, and rebounded by Jazz Green. As a wasp flies around our heads up here in the rafters, the basketball flying around on the court, 28-22. Braves lead. Entry pass for nobody in particular, taken away by the Braves. Looked like that time Kendra Lambert thought there was a player down in the left block, but that area had been vacated. And it was about as easy as a steal as the Braves are going to have all day. Huntley controls in the front court left. Taking some time off the clock, 13 seconds to play in the second. Shot clock turned off. Braves can hold for the last attempt. Huntley gets a screen from Monley, driving in. Shot is good through contact. Good job by Jasmine Huntley driving in. And immediately after the inbound pass, a travel is called against Coker. The Braves will get the ball back with 1 second left here in the second and a chance to expand their 30-22 lead. As we have a timeout taken on the floor, we'll keep it here during the timeout as John Haskins huddles the team together and tries to draw up a play. It's going to have to be a catch and shoot with 1 second left on the clock, but out of all the players on the Braves, Christina, who is the one that, if you're John Haskins, that you want taking this shot?
In my opinion, I would say, well, it depends on who's out there, first of all. We have out there, so, sorry, I'm just trying.
Oh, it's okay.
I would say Jasmine Huntley. I would want her to take the shot.
They inbound it long. Here comes the last second shot. It went to Pritchard, and she just had a desperation hook shot falling away from the basket. That was no good, and so we will head into halftime. The score is 30-22 in favor of the UNC Pembroke Braves. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. We'll run down the first half stats and take a look at all the other action around the Peach Belt Conference, some updates on UNCP athletics in general, and that is all, like I said, coming up ahead on the halftime report. But for now, the score is 30-22 in favor of the Braves. You're listening to the Braves Broadcast Network.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
And we welcome you back into Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court alongside Christina Vincent with Brian Williams back in the flagship studio. My name is Joe Vasile, and this is UNC Pembroke Lady Braves basketball. 30-22 the score in favor of Pembroke. They lead the Coker Cobras after the first half. And Christina, this was the first half. I think this is about the stat that sums up how this game has been going. 13 turnovers for Coker in that first half, just 2 for the Braves. One of the things you said in the pregame show was one of the big indicators of success for the Braves today was going to be that they control the basketball, and they've done an excellent job of doing that in the first half, and that's why they're up. And another thing that you said you noticed was as the game was getting a little bit closer, the Braves led at various points by 10, but Coker was able to make a little bit of a push at the end of that second quarter to get it to a 6-point game. And you saw a little bit of a change on the Braves bench.
Yes, I did. As Coker started getting, more aggressive, just observing Coach Haskins, definitely got fired up. At the beginning of the game, he was pretty sitting down, pretty chill about it. But then 28-22, they can take over anytime. So I mean, if I was in his shoes, I would definitely get fired up and have just to have more points on the board, so that way we'd have like a stronger lead.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where basketball is such a game of runs back and forth. A 6-point lead, especially towards the end of the second quarter, that's virtually nothing. It's a very close game, and considering how well Pembroke has played, that they're only up by 8 points here at the half, despite some of the mismatches, speaks a lot to what Coker has been able to do on the rebounding side of things. They're out-rebounding the Braves 24-12. Now, a lot of that coming because Jazz Green has 6 rebounds, Tarika Foster with 5 rebounds for the Cobras, but just a good overall team job by the Cobras of chasing down the loose balls, not allowing UNC Pembroke on the offensive side to get a lot of second chances, and also creating some second chances on their offensive side as well. 8 offensive rebounds in that first half for Coker. Despite the 13 turnovers, they've been able to keep it relatively close. They shot just 20% from behind the three-point arc, 2 of 10, and 33%, 8 of 24 from the floor in that first half. UNC Pembroke went 11 of 33 from the floor in the first half. It's also a 33% shooting percentage, 2 of 8 from behind the three-point arc, and were perfect 6 of 6 when they got to the free throw line. Another one of the big stats that sticks out is Avery Locklear in the first half only got 8 minutes of playing time, did not shoot the ball once. This is a player who had 16 points in the season opening game against Fayetteville State, also had 16 points against Division I Campbell, 12 points against Division I UNC Wilmington. This is a player who scores a lot, who shoots a lot, and she has been very limited on the offensive side. Credit the Coker defense for being able to do that, but also was taken out of the game relatively early after the Braves got off to a big lead by John Haskins, going with the substitutes a lot more in that first half, getting the bench players some more action, and I think that's kind of led to the score in this one as well.
Right. I was definitely, like you mentioned, Avery Locklear, and how, she had, a big turnout, during the FSU game. I was definitely hopeful, that she would also, during the first, few minutes that she was playing, I was hopeful, like, okay, she's going to have, some, put some scores up on the board, some points up on the board. But we'll see. We have 2 more quarters, so
exactly.
There's always hope.
We'll see as this game progresses whether Locklear gets out there more and starts to shoot a little bit more. But her game is a lot around the perimeter. The Braves, it seems like their game plan in this game has been to work the ball inside. 16 out of their 30 points have come in the paint. You factor in the 6 free throws that were made by the Braves as well, and you do the math really fast, and I'm just stalling for time to do the math in my head. That means only 8 points for the Braves have come not from the free throw line or from inside. And, well, when that's your game and that's not the philosophy of the team on that given day, it's understandable why you might be a little bit lower in the scoring column than you might anticipate heading into the game. Also, Janisa Monley was just so good early on. 10 points, 3 rebounds in 14 minutes on the floor for UNC Pembroke. The next leading scorer was Ebony Stevens, who has 6 points on 2 of 2 from behind the three-point line. Jasmine Huntley has 4 points. Phoenicia Lawson with 4. Sadasia Love has 2 points, along with Chandrika Fuller and Mary Robinson, each with 2 points apiece. Robinson, though, with a block, 3 steals, and 2 assists, contributing in a little bit of everywhere. She's really what, when they refer to a glue player, somebody who does a little bit of everything and everything comes together.
Right.
That's been Mary Robinson in the first 2 games for the Braves, or I suppose first game and a half for the Braves, contributing a little bit in all facets and really changing the complexion of this game with her play, not only on offense, but on defense as well.
And another thing that, I just wanted to throw in, one of the players, Erica Williams, her and I actually went to middle school together. So, I've actually been watching her, play basketball and stuff ever since middle school. So, just to see her play college ball is definitely, I'm definitely proud of her.
Now, did you ever play against her or with her
No,
back in the day?
I didn't play. I watched.
Well, that's why we're both up here, right?
Yeah.
30-22 the score, 4:40 left until the start of the third quarter. We'll take another step aside. When we return, we'll go around the Peach Belt Conference, let you know some of the other scores from around the conference in today's action. And before we head to break, though, one update in case you missed it. Yesterday, the men up in the Pickle Classic at the University of Mount Olive scored a 79-67 victory over the Barton Bulldogs. Tonight at 7:30, they will take on the Mount Olive Trojans and try and go to 4-1 on the season. They lost their opening game last Friday and have won their last 3 since. They are off to a good start. They're one of the best teams in the country and showing that early in this season. So we'll take another step aside. Once again, we'll be back in a couple of minutes with the start of the second half of basketball here from Pembroke. I'm Joe Vasile alongside Christina Vincent. This is the Braves Broadcast Network. We welcome you back into Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court in Pembroke, North Carolina. The score at halftime is 30-22 in favor of the UNC Pembroke Braves over the Coker Cobras. Well, we're just over 60 seconds away from the start of the second half. Let's take you around the Peach Belt Conference, get you updated on some of the other action going on today. Lee's McRae is taking on Young Harris. None of these games we have any stats for, and a couple of them haven't started yet. That game tipped off at 1:30, still waiting on the first update from there. 2 o'clock tip-off at Francis Marion as the Patriots take on Pfeiffer. Lander takes on St. Augustine's today. That one tips off at 2 o'clock as well. And Georgia College takes on Trevecca Nazarene at 2 o'clock. That one down in Georgia. On the men's side of things, 2 o'clock tip-off for Columbus State and West Georgia. And then later on in men's basketball, a 3:30 start. Young Harris is at home against King University of Tennessee. Georgia Southwestern takes on Tuskegee, North Georgia. travels to Queens out in Charlotte, not to be confused with the Queens University up in New York. Flagler takes on Portland Bible in Bellingham, Washington. That's quite a trip for the Florida school Flagler. And of course, UNC Pembroke takes on Mount Olive. 7:30, Cameron Songer will have the call right here on the Braves Broadcasting Network. The Lady Braves will have the ball to start the third quarter. Starting fives out there for both teams, and we are underway as the teams have switched directions. The Braves now moving right to left across the court. Robinson dishes off to left for Chandrika Fuller. Threw one off the leg of Kendra Lambert, and it was stolen away by the Coker Cobras. 30-22 is the score in favor of UNCP. Alongside Christina Vincent, I'm Joe Vasile. Brian Williams back in the studio. Lambert stops her dribble, pivots around, looks to pass, gets it off to Kiara Schultz. Backing things back out now, 10 to shoot as Schultz drives in. She gives over to Sydney Schull. Up top, here's Jazz Green from 16 feet, shot short, rebounded by Mary Robinson. Fuller brings it across for the Braves, slashing in, lefty lay-in. Shot was no good, but she was fouled and will head to the free throw line. Kendra Lambert picks up her third foul of the game, first against Coker in this second half. And Fuller to the free throw line. For the first time today, she's got 2 points in the game already, looking to add to that total here. And she is short on the first free throw, glanced off the front of the rim. And it was no good. So she'll get it back, try to atone for that quickly. 9:14 left here in the third. Second on its way is good. 3 points in the game for Chandrika Fuller, the senior from Durham, North Carolina. Tied for fifth in the Peach Belt in assists as she comes away with a steal here. Poked it free from Lambert. Blows the lay-in. Rebound comes out long, still up for grabs. Coker grabs it. Kick to the outside. Here's Jazz Green up with a shot. It was short and no good. And rebounded by Janisa Monley. And Monley was fouled. A reach-in going against Jazz Green, her second. (31-22) the score in favor of the Braves. 8:54 left here in the third quarter. Chandrika Fuller brings it forward, dribbling with both hands as she gives to Avery Locklear on the outside. Inside now for Monley, backing down Foster in the paint, and she gets the bucket to go on a turnaround jumper. That kissed the glass. 12 points in the game for Janisa Monley. 33-22, an 11-point lead for the Braves, their largest lead of the game. 8.5 to go here in the third. On the outside, the ball is controlled by Kiara Schultz. Schultz kicks now for Green. Green driving in. Floater was no good. Looked like she got caught in between a shot and a pass. And that one just sailed clear out of bounds. Avery Locklear passes up for Fuller, who carries across the logo. 8:10 left to go in the third. 33-22. The score in favor of the Braves. Now here's Locklear on the right wing side, working it inside for Monley, and Monley was fouled. 3 quick fouls against the Cobras here in the third quarter. Foul goes against Tarika Foster, her second personal, as both Foster, Green, and Morgan Williams with 2 fouls. 3 on its way for Mary Robinson was no good, rebounded by Coker. Here comes Schultz, driving to the basket, righty layup, shot no good. Ball rebounded quickly by the Braves. Fuller drives and lays it in. Chandrika Fuller with the fast break points for the Braves, and a timeout taken by Coker. 35-22 the score here. 7:46 left in the third. 30-second timeout. So we'll leave it here as the Braves have come out firing quickly here in this third quarter. They've outscored Coker 5-0. Not a whole lot of offense through the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but it's all gone the Braves' way, Christina.
Yes, and like I was saying earlier, well, this game could go 2 ways. The Braves, they can get relaxed on the ball, and Coker, they could get more aggressive, and just watching all the fouls that were called, it's definitely getting intense now, and paying attention to the coach, and he's he's getting very vocal, a little bit louder. But as long as the Braves keep the ball in their favor, and keep the amount of turnovers at a minimum, the Braves can take the game away.
He had just 3 turnovers for the Lady Braves in this game compared to 15 for Coker to this point. Just, I know it's redundant to say that's way too many turnovers, but
it's way too many.
Quite frankly, it's way too many turnovers. Coker will have the ball. They trail by 13 points. 7:46 to go here in the third. As the Braves look like they will put a full court press on. Just a very loose one. Almost a token press by the Braves, just showing it and not being particularly aggressive as Kendra Lambert controls in the front court. Lambert dribbles over to the left side. Guarded closely by Fuller. Now passes off to Schultz. Uses a screen to get a good look for 3. Shot was short. Didn't hit the rim, but it was taken by Sydney Scholl. But just 8 seconds left to shoot for Coker as the shot clock did not reset. Driving in, Schultz, shot blocked by Locklear. They'll say a tie-up. Possession arrow is going to favor Coker. They have just 1 second left on the shot clock. So it'll have to be a catch and shoot as Lambert will look to inbound. Lambert looking for a place to go, gets it in. Schultz hoists one along 2. Ball was rebounded by the Braves, but first a shot clock violation as the ball didn't glance off the rim. So a fast break potentially stymied for the Braves, but I'm sure they're glad to just have the ball up by 13 with 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Here's Avery Locklear on the right wing. Tried to feed one inside, but the pass was tipped and stolen away. Couldn't get the ball to LaShonda Pritchard. In transition, here's Schultz. Up fake, then kick to the outside for Scholl. Over to Lambert. Lambert driving in through traffic. Gets hit as she went up with the shot. She'll go shoot 2. Foul goes against UNCP, their first team foul here in the third quarter. It goes against Avery Locklear, who picks up her 3rd personal. She's been in foul trouble for a good part of this game, but she'll stay out there for now as Lambert goes to the line and hits the first. Kendra Lambert now with 6 points in the game at 23 against Belmont Abbey. That's the lone win for the Cobras this season. Connects on the second. She's now got 7 in this one, averaging about 13 points per contest. 35-24 the score in favor of the Braves as Fuller dishes off to Monley with a wide open shot on the back door. And it's not going to get much easier than that for Janisa Monley. Now Lambert on the other side for Coker, trying to answer back. Gives to Schultz, driving in, shot blocked by Monley. And it goes out of bounds. 37-24 the score in favor of UNCP. 6:27 left to go here in the third. Inbound goes from Lambert. Off to Schultz. Controlling on the right wing, gets a screen set for her by Foster, dribbles off to the left and passes to Jazz Green. Now it's Sydney Scholl. Scholl right back to Foster, and a whistle and a foul offensively away from the ball. It's going to be Jazz Green picking up her 3rd personal and the 4th team foul against Coker. One more and the Braves will be in the bonus for the remainder of the third quarter, as that's the 4th foul against the Cobras. 6:11 to play here in the third. Chandrika Fuller controls. Ball swings around the perimeter. It's Ebony Stevens. She's got 2 threes, launches a 3rd. It's well short. Didn't hit the rim and skips out of bounds into the dance team. And it'll be Coker ball. 5:57 to play here in the third quarter. Braves up by 13 points, tied for their largest lead of the day. They've led for almost the entire game. Only a very short period back in the first when Coker held the lead for 39 seconds. Other than that, it's been all Braves all game. On the outside, here's Green, given to Schultz, cutting back outside for Green on the left side. Works it indoors for Morgan Williams, up with a reverse lay-in, had the shot blocked. Williams recovered, gave to Tarika Foster, and Foster banked it in off the glass. Her first 2 points of the game, 37-26. Braves lead. Fuller controls, dribbling just off to the left of the Braves logo. Now it's over to Pritchard, back to Fuller on the outside, driving the baseline. Fuller tried to dump off to Robinson. Morgan Williams got in the way, stole the pass, and then was fouled as Chantrika Fuller went for the steal. Fuller picks up her first personal, second team foul against the Lady Braves. Here in the third quarter, 5:09 to go, 37-26. Is the score in favor of the Braves. They're up by 11. Coker with the ball. Schultz gives off. Here's Williams. Now it's over to Elizabeth Kincaid, the freshman from Poquoson, Virginia. Inside, Jazz Green tries to scoop with the left hand. Shot no good. Foster with the rebound. And Tarika Foster starting to warm up now for the floor. She's got 4 points. 37-28 after the bucket. 4:40 left to go. Here in the third quarter, Ebony Stevens gives off to Jasmine Huntley, gets a screen from her from Robinson. Up top, straightaway three coming from Stevens, and it's good. Ebony Stevens with 9 points, all coming from beyond the arc. And it's 40-28 in favor of the Braves. Jazz Green gives to Kincaid. Whistle and a foul away from the ball. This one is going to go against Crystal Hicks, and with 4:15 left here in the third, we will take a timeout. Returning in 60 seconds, the score 40 for the UNC Pembroke Braves, 28 for the Coker Cobras. You're listening to the Braves Broadcast Network.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins.
And we welcome you back into Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court alongside Christina Vincent. I'm Joe Vasile. 40-28 the score in favor of the Braves, but it's the Coker Cobras with the ball. And off the inbound pass, after one foul, we get another foul. This one's going to go against Jasmine Huntley. Her first personal, third team foul against the Braves. Been in control in this one pretty much from the word go. Deep inbound goes to Kiara Schultz, driving in, kicks off for the cutting Elizabeth Kincaid, but the pass was behind her. It sailed out of bounds. It'll be Braves basketball. Another turnover, Christina, here for Coker. So Jasmine Huntley brings it forward, gives to Ebony Stevens. Swings around the perimeter, back to Stevens. Long three coming. She had been feeling it, but that one went a little bit long, and it was rebounded by the Cobras. Ball came loose, but was recovered by Coker. And now Kiara Schultz running the point. Kendra Lambert on the bench. Controls for Coker. They trail by 12, 3:42 to go here in the third quarter. Here's Williams, Morgan Williams driving. High arcs his shot, and it was no good, but there was a foul. It looked like some sort of whistle. It's going to result in the Braves having the basketball. Was not a foul going against Coker. Looked like a 3-second violation from the motion of the referee. Second one against Coker today. Here comes a three from Crystal Hicks. Shot no good. Rebounded by Mary Robinson. Braves keep. Ebony Stevens launches, and Ebony Stevens hits. 12 points for Stevens.
She's definitely racking up on those points coming from the three-pointer.
Huntley came up with a quick steal. Her shot was no good in transition. She was outnumbered 2-1 by the Cobras. We're able to pull down the miss, and now control on offense. Ball nearly stolen away as Robinson tipped her hand off of an entry pass. Ball squirted out to Schultz on the left side. And a whistle away from the ball. Looks like an offensive foul going against Coker. It's going to go against Tarika Foster, her third personal. And fifth team foul against the Cobras. No shots coming as it was on the offensive side, but that puts UNCP in the bonus. Next common foul resulting in 2 free throws. Crystal Hicks gives off to Jasmine Huntley. Huntley controls at the logo. Off to the right side. Now back up top for Hicks. Hicks driving. A whistle and a foul, it looks like. Foul. Away from the ball, Crystal Hicks to the line. Goes up with the first free throw, and it's no good. These are her first free throws taken of the season for Hicks. Second on its way is good. So Crystal Hicks goes 1 for 2 at the line. 44-28 the score in favor of UNCP in what's been a relatively low-scoring third quarter. Braves out to the 16-point lead. Comes a 3 for Coker from the left corner. Schultz couldn't hit. And it was rebounded by the Braves and trying to take it up. And having the pass go out of bounds was Sadeza Love. She tried to get it to Jasmine Huntley. The ball looked like it was tipped by Coker. And it went out of bounds, though. Last touch by the Braves. Coker controls. And a whistle. Looks like a foul away from the ball. It's going to go against Jasmine Huntley, who's disappointed to have the foul called against her. It's the 5th against Pembroke. 2 shots here for Kiara Schultz. First on its way is good. Second on its way is good from Schultz as well, so she goes 2 for 2 from the line. Now 9 points on the game for Kiara Schultz. Inside 2 minutes to go here in the third. 44-30 is the score in favor of UNCP. Fuller passes off to the right, now gets one back for LaShonda Pritchard in the right block. Shot no good. Rebound by Fuller. Her shot is no good as well. And another offensive rebound. This one came out long to Crystal Hicks. Back to Fuller in between the circles. She dribbles, passes off to the right for Pritchard. Right back to Fuller. Fuller drives, takes about 17 steps. No whistle. Her shot no good. And it looked like a foul. A loose ball foul going against the Braves. Couldn't quite see who the officials called for the foul, but it's going to be Sadeza Love picking up her second personal. That's going to result in 2 shots for Kiara Schultz. Schultz just went 2 for 2 from the line. First on its way, good. She's now in double digits, 10 points for Kiara Schultz. She's now 5 of 6 from the free throw line as well. Second, good. Got a team leading 11 points. Coker presses off the inbound, but the Braves are able to break it. Bringing up Erica Williams. Bounce pass ahead for Love, and Love is able to bank it home from 6 feet out. 4 points for Sadeza Love off the bench. 46-32 the score in favor of UNCP. 70 seconds remaining here in the third. On the outside, here's Schultz. Kick out. 3 on its way from Sydney Schull. Too short. Rebound tips out of bounds. Last touch by Coker. It'll be Braves ball. 1 minute, 1 second remaining in the third quarter. 46-32 the score in favor of UNCP. They are in control of this one, up by 14. Rolling it is Chandrika Fuller, dribbling with both hands. Now gives off to Crystal Hicks. Hicks finds Williams in the right corner, tried to find a cutting Love, but the pass was behind her and stolen away by Coker. Turnover for the Braves. Here comes Kendra Lambert, and Lambert tried to get a pass inside for Tarika Foster, and Foster was fouled. Foul goes against Crystal Hicks. That's her third. Bonus situation for Coker, so that'll send Tarika Foster to the free throw line. 55% free throw shooter this year. She transferred to Coker from Lander College. First on the way is good. She's got 5 points. After she transferred after her freshman year at Lander, she didn't play. She only played in a handful of games for Coker as a sophomore. As a second one is good as well. She's got 6 points in the game before going down with an injury. It's been limited the last 2 years because of some injuries, but having a good year this year. Inside, Love with the basket for the Braves. 48-34. Sadeza Love now at 6 points. 22 seconds left here in the third. Shot clock turned off. Coker can hold for the last shot. They move left to right across the court. While being dribbled on the outside by Johnson. Mariah Johnson loses her footing. The ball up for grabs. It's taken by the Braves. 3 seconds. They don't have to get a shot off. Fuller hoisted one up at the last second. The shot would have counted if it was good, but it was about 10 feet short. And that is the end of the third quarter. The score 48-34 in favor of UNC Pembroke. We'll take a step aside for 60 seconds when we return the final stanza of the game here on the Braves Broadcast Network.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court. 48-34 is the score in favor of the UNC Pembroke Braves as we start the fourth quarter. Braves looking to close this one out over the Coker Cobras and snap a 3-game losing streak against Coker. Inside, Monley went up with a shot, and Janisa Monley, the leading scorer in today's game, was fouled. So she'll head to the free throw line. She's got 14 points so far. Correction, it was actually LaShonda Pritchard. I sincerely apologize for that one. Pritchard up at the first, and it's good. Her first point of the game. The white numbers on the white jerseys, not necessarily the easiest to identify. Second on the way from Pritchard is good. Although I suppose Monley wearing the sleeves is an easy indicator for her. 50-34 the score in favor of UNC Pembroke. 6:42 left to go. Coker with the ball. Here's a three from Lambert. Shot no good. Rebound goes out of bounds. Trying to save it was Kiara Schultz as she dove into her own bench, but was unable to get to the ball before it went out of bounds. It'll be Braves ball. 50-34 the score. 9:34 left to go here in this game. Chandrika Fuller controls some fancy dribbling through traffic. Looks kicked to the outside. Three on its way, and the shot was no good. Robinson misfired from long range. Rebounded by Coker. Pushing ahead. Schultz in transition for three. No good. Glanced off the rim. Ball rebounded by Avery Locklear. She pushes it forward. Braves up 16 as Locklear passes to Pritchard on the left wing. Back up top. Ball finds its way to Fuller. Fuller with a handoff pass for Pritchard. Pritchard driving in, stops her dribble, scoops to the inside, shot no good. Ginny Samanli with the rebound, and she turns around, couldn't get the basket to fall, rebounded by Coker. Schultz brings it across for the Cobras. They're down 16, 8:45 to go. A couple of players in foul trouble for Coker as well, including Jazz Green, who's out there with 3 fouls. Schultz gives off to her left for Tarika Foster. Foster hands off to Kendra Lambert and then sets a screen. Right back to Schultz, patting the top of her head to call for a new play. She gets a double screen off to her left, 2 to shoot. Schultz a desperation 3 just to avoid the violation. Shot hit off the backboard, did not glance the rim, so it'll go for a shot clock violation anyway. 50-34 the score in favor of UNCP, 8:18 left to play in the game. Robinson will trigger the inbound after she ties her right shoe. Now gets it up to Chandrika Fuller, who carries from right to left for the Braves across the Braves head logo. There's LaShonda Pritchard driving in, a floater from 10, shot no good. Pritchard grabs her own rebound and puts back the miss. Now 4 points for Pritchard, all coming here in the fourth quarter. 52-34 the score in favor of the Lady Braves. On the outside, the Cobras have it. It's Sydney Shull working it inside now. Shot is no good by Jazz Green, and it's rebounded by the Braves, pushing it aggressively ahead for Pritchard. A couple of dribbles, stops it on the left block. Shot was no good. Rebound goes to Mary Robinson. Her shot was good, and she got fouled in the process. Robinson to the free throw line to try and complete the three-point play. Sydney Shull got called for the foul, her first personal. First team foul, or rather second team foul against the Cobras here in the fourth. First on the way from Robinson is good, so she completes a three-point play. She's got 5 points in the game. Mary Robinson just doing a good job of contributing all over the floor for the Braves today. 55-34, a 21-point lead for the Braves, their biggest of the game. 7:25 to play. Williams gives to the outside. Shull launches a three. Shot no good. Avery Locklear with the rebound. She's looking for her first points of the game she can get on this trip. Stops her dribble. Long two coming. Shot no good. Rebounded by Coker. It was Morgan Williams pulling it down. Long outlet pass is tipped and stolen away by Chandrika Fuller. Fuller now trying to set up on offense for the Braves. She gives it over to LaShonda Pritchard. Pritchard gives to Locklear. Sets a screen. Back to Robinson up top. Down low for Monley, spinning to the basket, and she was getting it called for a travel. There was some contact. She took a couple extra steps, and it was the steps they blew the whistle on. 55-34, 6:48 to go. Braves out to the lead. Here's Shull. Shull finds cutting Green to the basket. Shot no good. It was rebounded by Coker, and then a foul. It's called against the Braves. It'll stay Cobra basketball as LaShonda Pritchard was called for her second personal foul, first going against the Braves here in the fourth quarter. Substitutions as Locklear comes off along with Fuller and Pritchard. Jasmine Huntley comes back in along with Crystal Hicks. And looks like Ebony Stevens. Stevens with 12 points off the bench in this game. 55-34, Braves lead, 6.5 to go. Coker with it. tried to find a pass for Green inside. It went awry, but Green was able to save it. Kick to the outside for Scholl. Long two on its way was good. Sydney Scholl with her first 2 points of the game. 55-36 the score in favor of the Braves. They've been able to dictate the tempo of this one. Here's Stevens on the outside. Now Robinson over to Huntley. Huntley directing traffic. She gets isolation on the right side. She finds Monley. Turnaround shot from 8. No good. And rebounded by Coker. 55-36. Driving in Jazz Green. She was fouled as she went up for a shot, which was no good. But she'll head to the free throw line and shoot 2. As Mary Robinson picks up her third foul of the night. Second going against the Braves here in the fourth quarter. They're up by 19 with 5:56 to play. A couple dribbles coming for Jazz Green before she goes up with her first. And it's good. 6 points now for Green. She came into this game averaging over 17 points per game. Braves doing a good job of limiting her on offense today. Shot on its way is no good, a little bit short. Rebounded by the Braves. Jasmine Huntley will take it slowly across, harassed by Raquel MacArthur. Checked into the game for the first time for the Coker Cobras. Here's Huntley taking a handoff pass, driving to the basket. With some contact, will play on as the shot was no good, and rebounded by the Cobras. Scholl gives over to Schultz on the right side. Schultz, Rainbows one back near side for MacArthur. Scholl controls, gives to Morgan Williams in the high post. Now back over to Kiara Schultz on the left wing. Schultz dribbles back out towards center court. Now gives to Green. Good ball movement by the Cobras. Inside, going up with a shot. It's Green from down low. And Green banked it home. She's got 8. Although the Cobras used up most of the shot clock there. They've cut the lead down to 55-39. A 5-0 run for Coker. Up top, Robinson dishes off to Hicks. Robinson launching for 3 now. Shot was no good. And the ball rebounded by Sydney Scholl. The Braves have gone cold on offense. And the Cobras starting to pick things up on their offensive side. Pounded inside for Morgan Williams, and she gets called for a travel as the pass was a little bit off to her left. She caught it, had to move her right foot to contain her momentum, and her left foot slipped as well. We have a media timeout. We'll take it with them. 55-39 the score in favor of the Braves. 4:34 to go in the fourth quarter. You're listening to the Braves Broadcast Network.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
We welcome you back at a Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court. Joe Vasile alongside Christina Vincent. Brian Williams back in the studio. 55-39 the score in favor of the Braves. 4:34 left to play as Phoenicia Lawson catches the inbound pass. Trying to avoid getting trapped in the corner. Ball tipped and stolen away by the Cobras. Outside, Jazz Green up fakes a 3, then kicks to Scholl. Right corner 3 on its way. A little bit short. Scholl grabs a rebound, goes up with a shot quickly, and that one falls. Sydney Scholl with 4 points. 55-41. It's a 14-point game. The Braves once led by 21. Inbound goes to Lawson, then right back to Mary Robinson. She hands off to Jasmine Huntley, and Huntley will be allowed to break the timeline. Huntley outside, 3 on its way by Stevens. It's short. Rebound went to Phoenicia Lawson, but not before an over the back was called. Phoenicia Lawson went over the back of Morgan Williams. First foul against Lawson, third against the Braves here in the fourth quarter. So they've got one more foul to give before the Cobras are on the line. Under 4 minutes to play. It's a 14-point game, not over yet. But the Cobras going to have to get on their horse quickly if they're going to make this one close. Inside, Green gets fouled as she went up with a shot, which was no good. So she'll head to the line and shoot two. Jazz Green harassed a little bit, too much that time by Erica Williams. That's her first personal, fourth team foul against the Braves. They are now out of fouls to give. Before Coker will be in the bonus. First down its way from Green is short and no good. Getting a little break. There were the Lady Braves as Green missed the first but hit the second. She's got 9 points in the game. 55-42 the score. Phoenicia Lawson trying to avoid getting trapped again in the corner. She gets it out. It's stolen away. Raquel MacArthur with the shot, and she banks it home high off the glass. 55-44 as the Coker Cobras are starting to make a charge, slithering their way back into the game. It's an 11-point deficit now. They've shaved 10 points off. A timeout was taken by UNCP. After that made basket, as now John Haskins will try and regroup and get his team to settle back down as things starting to shift in the momentum and in the direction of the Coker Cobras. John Haskins now with the jacket off, just very animated off in that huddle, trying to get his team to focus and cut down on the turnovers, which are starting to come in droves for this team. They've got 10 turnovers on the game, but 8 of those 10 have come in the second half. Braves will inbound. Stevens looks for a place to get it in. She finds Janisa Monley. Monley trying to get through. She'll dribble it herself, but she had no one to pass it off to, and now she gets trapped in the front court but is able to pass out of it. Erica Williams controls. Braves just moving the ball around, trying to take as much time off the clock as possible. Driving in Huntley, 11 to shoot, up with a shot, but she got fouled. It was no good. So Jasmine Huntley goes to the free throw line. She'll shoot 2 free throws. She's 2 for 2 from the charity stripe today. 55-44 the score in favor of UNCP. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left to play as Huntley to the line to try and expand the lead a little bit and stymie the momentum. First on the way is good. So Huntley now with 5 points in the game. Substitution coming for the Braves. Erica Williams checks out. LaShonda Pritchard comes back in. And Huntley toes the line once again, an offset stance. Left foot behind the right. Second on its way is good. 6 points for Huntley, 57-44 the score. Coker quickly. Here's MacArthur. Reverse layup was no good. Fight for the rebound, a whistle, and a foul. This one goes against Raquel MacArthur. Her first personal, third team foul against Coker. 3:06 to play. Check that was the fourth foul against Coker. Either way, there's still 3:06 to play. 57-44 UNCP. Looking for a place to get it in, and a timeout taken as there was nowhere to pass it into, so to avoid the 5-second violation, the timeout was taken on the baseline by Pritchard.
Plenty of timeouts during this quarter. You can tell it's definitely getting intense, especially as Coker, is racking up on points. During the game, I noticed that Coach Haskins started getting a little bit more animated, more vocal, and he can definitely see he's very, very into the game. Trying to make sure, it's repetitive when we say it, but make sure that, Pembroke keeps the amount of turnovers at a minimum. They're at 10 now, in the double digits.
One timeout left for the Braves as they try to inbound it again. They get it into Monley. Monley trying to avoid being trapped on the baseline. She gets it And finally, the Braves will break the timeline. It was Chandrika Fuller taking it across with 2 seconds to spare. She's harassed heavily by Raquel MacArthur. And finally, a blocking foul is going to get called against MacArthur. That's now 5 against the Cobras, which means it's bonus time for the Braves. To the line to shoot 2 goes Chandrika Fuller. Braves up 13 with just under 3 minutes left to play. Coker making a late charge. But Fuller hits the first free throw. And the Braves now will no longer try to rebound a potential miss. They'll just get back and play defense. Second on its way from Fuller is good. She's now got 7 points, 4 of those coming from the free throw line. 59-44 the score. Braves trying to ice this one. Coker trying to come back. Shull launches a left corner 3. Shot no good. Rebound goes to Mary Robinson. Now Chandrika Fuller gets a handoff from Robinson. She's got 3 seconds to get it across. She's pressed. She finally does get it across. Nearly travels. But the ball goes to Robinson. Robinson right back to Fuller. Handoff pass for LaShonda Pritchard. And Pritchard's going to get fouled by Jazz Green, who picks up her 4th foul. One more, and Green will be fouled out of this game. So to the line, LaShonda Pritchard. 59-44 the score in favor of UNCP. First on its way is good. Pritchard with 5 points in the game, all of them coming here in the 4th quarter. And it's now a 16-point lead for UNCP. They've led by as much as 21 today. Second is good from Pritchard as well. She's got 6. She goes 2 for 2 from the line. Here's Kiara Schultz getting trapped. Passes out of it to Morgan Williams. Williams tries to find Raquel MacArthur. Pass was a little too high for her, but she tipped it back to herself. Now driving in, Jazz Green. Floater from the lane. It's good. Green with 11. 61-46 in favor of the Braves. Driving in, Fuller loses a handle on the ball, and it's stolen away by the Cobras. Here comes Schultz. Schultz drives aggressively, a righty finish, it's good. 61-48, lead cut down to just 13 points again, minute 47 to play as the Cobras continue to try and come back. Driving in for the Braves, it's Pritchard, shot was no good, rebounded out long by Green. Green pushes, 2-on-2 for the Cobras. Green stops her dribble and she traveled. She stopped it a little bit too abruptly and her back foot ended up moving when it needed to stay planted. Minute 32 left, Braves with the ball, 61-48 the score. Coker will put the full court press in full effect here. Cobras have 2 timeouts left. The Braves with just 1. Minute 30 left as the Braves get it across. It's Fuller dribbling in the front court left. She's guarded closely by Kiara Schultz. Fuller being allowed to just tip some time off the clock. And now a foul going against Schultz. As Fuller kind of backed up right into Schultz there. It's not the greatest foul call in the world. The Braves will take it as it sends Fuller to the line. And she misses on the first. Minute 17 to go. 61-48 the score in favor of UNCP. Second on the way, no good as well. Fuller goes 0 for 2. Jazz Green got the rebound. She pushes it forward. Tried to pass off to Kendra Lambert, but the pass was tipped and stolen away by the Braves. 66 seconds to play. Braves up by 13. Mary Robinson on the outside. 1 minute to go. Right back to Fuller, and now Fuller will be fouled. It's going to be Schultz. Picks up her second personal foul. That'll send Fuller to the line again. She just missed 2 out of 2, but before that had been 3 for 4 on the game. Fuller's first on the way, good. 8 points for Chandrika Fuller. She had 4 points in the season opener against Fayetteville State. Second on the way is money as well. 9 points now for her, 63 points for the Braves, 48 points for Coker. Sydney Shull gives off to Jazz Green. Green to the outside. Here's Lambert spinning around, 43 seconds to go. Launching a three, Jazz Green, and she hits. Green steps out and drills a three, 14 points, 63-51, a 12-point game. Coker tries to trap. Not able to, but boy, the Braves have about 2 seconds to get it across. And a timeout called by John Haskins with 30.8 seconds to go. It'll be a full timeout, but we'll keep it right here with just 30 seconds left in the game. And a 63-51 lead for the Braves. Well, things getting a little bit too late for Coker. They gave it a great run to try and come back in this one. They trailed by 21 points early on in this fourth quarter. They shaved the deficit to as little as 11 points. Weren't able to get any closer to that because, well, they got into some foul trouble, and the Braves have done a good job in this game of knocking down their free throws, Christina.
Yeah, I would definitely say there's a lot of fouls going on in this quarter. And steals too.
Yeah.
a lot of stealing going on.
15 steals for the Braves, 8 steals for Coker in the game. Braves 19 of 23 from the free throw line as a team in this game. That's about an 83% clip. They shot 72% from the line in the season opener against Fayetteville State. I mean, good job once they get to the line and knocking it down. That's been part of the reason why they've been able to have such a big lead. They'll have the ball here, 30.8 seconds to go. They have just 1 second to get it across, and they will blow things dead as the shot clock never started again. Might be lucky for the Braves because they would have gotten a 10-second violation, as they had 2 seconds to get it across the timeline, and 4 seconds went off the game clock. So the Braves catch a break as the shot clock never got restarted. The game clock shows 26.4 seconds. They're going to have to put 30.8 back on. Oh, wow, they're going to give the ball to the... Wow, that's awful. That is absolutely awful. The pass was tipped off the inbound. It was recovered by the Braves. It should be Coker ball. Fuller drives in, takes 6 steps, shot no good. Rebounded by Coker. Kendra Lambert gives to Jazz Green, launching a three. It was short, no good, and rebounded by the Cobras. 2 seconds left in the game. Last second three from Shull. Could she beat the buzzer? No. And the final score in this game is 63 for the UNCP Braves and 51 for the Coker Cobras. The Braves stay perfect on the season. They're now 2-0. With the loss, the Coker Cobras fall to 1-3 on the season. A 63-51 victory for the Braves today, Christina, and it was a good win overall for the Lady Braves, and I'm sure they're happy to escape with this one. 2-0 now on the season. They're showing that after a 10-16 season last year, things definitely looking up for the Lady Braves.
Right.
A couple of the big numbers in this game. We'll get to you some of the individual performances for the Braves as we now head into the post-game show segment of today's coverage. Janice Monley, 14 points, 6 rebounds for the Braves. Ebony Stevens came off the bench, contributed 12 points. Shantrika Fuller, 9 points, 3 assists, including 3 huge free throws made down the stretch on the Braves side of things. For the Cobras, Jazz Green had 14 points and 10 rebounds, collecting a double-double. Kiara Schultz with 13 points and 7 rebounds for Coker as well. And to add to those 14 and 10 for Jazz Green, also a team-leading 4 assists. Actually, that led all players in this game, doing a good job of distributing the ball. She's certainly continuing her great season for the Coker Cobras. But for UNCP, it was a good balanced attack. They got just about everybody in the game. 12 players all in rotation, all seeing action in this game and making a meaningful impact in one way or another on the final outcome, which once again a 63-51 win for the UNCP Lady Braves. Christina, what are your impressions after this game about what the Braves did well?
I'm actually very, very impressed with Ebony Stevens, her 3-pointers. I would like for her to teach me how to do some, It's, like seeing her at the 3-point line, I'm like, it's like I just have a feeling, okay, I know she's going to get that, and she would get it.
Yep. Stevens certainly a 3-point specialist off the bench for the Lady Braves. She had a game last year in the final game for the Braves where she had 15 points on 5 3-pointers made. That was against Frances Marion, once again in the season finale last year. So the kind of performance that she put on today, 4 of 7 from beyond the arc for 12 points, certainly something she's used to doing and capable of giving you almost any game because she's just so good at coming up, spotting up for 3, and knocking it down from long range. If you had to pick a player of the game, would it be Stevens?
Yes.
Be Ebony Stevens. So
yeah,
she
hands
is
down, yes.
so she is the player of the game for UNC Pembroke. That just about wraps things up for our coverage here today for everyone here at UNC Pembroke. And, of course, my partner, Christina Vincent. I'm Joe Vasile. Brian Williams back in the studio, did a great job today. Stay tuned here on the Braves Broadcast Network. Next time we're going to come to you is actually going to be tonight. It'll be Cameron Songer up in Mount Olive as the Braves men's team takes on the University of Mount Olive Trojans. Coverage begins a little bit before 7:30 with the pregame show. Cameron will have all the action, so make sure you come back and visit the Braves Broadcast Network for that game. And that is our last order of business, so thank you very much for tuning in. Once again, Joe Vasile, Christina Vincent, Brian Williams back in the studio. We will send you and leave you with the plays of the game.